is I, Barack Obama.
How's it going? This is Leader635 on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today I'll make a review over the Gemmy Hip Swinging Santa from 1998. This is the continuous mechanism version that was made after, I believe, the double polarity mechanism that was, the previous one that had the big base and everything. So they did both the base reduction, which is odd, and honestly it's stupid at the same time because usually they tend to snap from that section, but if you take care of it, nothing's going to happen. And the mechanism, which even though it's a little easier to deal with a continuous mechanism, the final effect is not that good. It's definitely not that good. But anyways, Daniel gave me this one. He sent me it 2 months ago and it arrived, but not necessarily to my house. And here's where I come with the story on, the backstory. So Daniel got this one, must have gotten it in 2016, I believe. I could be wrong. And of course, you guys know he does tend to give me a bunch of things. This was one of them, and it's the last package that arrived for now. It was October the 24th. If I don't mess up, it must have been October 24th. Let me see. My stuff, group pictures, packages, there we go. Yep, the 24th of October, and it came like that, which it's actually better than what it looks like right now. It came taken apart with a few other things, but basically it's a weird story that has to do with both the thing that happened here and the postal, how I think the postal service works, which is not really, I mean, it's better than what it used to be a few months ago, but it's still kind of junk. The good thing they do have, at least right now, we changed president, so we don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but we did have a decently better system for declaring the content and how it would everything lay out. That was slightly better than before. It wasn't as hard and it wasn't as untrustful. But the other thing is, of course, they still have the things that they had before, which they don't necessarily just give priority because it's a package. They give priority to the packages that have to arrive in a certain amount of time, which is, again, understandable. But then you have the ones from purchases like Mercado Libre, by example. And this is a fairly known example, okay? This is something that I literally... what's this bullshit called? That it was something I was going on at the same time as this. Because at the same time that this was in... And here's the thing. This wasn't even in Canada. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this was in the distribution center in Bachester, which is basically the area where I'm at. It was there, and I decided to buy a Robot Leader Zodak with the box. It arrived in like 2 or 3 days. This thing was still there. This package, pretty much the box, was stuck there for like 2 weeks. So the second week I was pissed. I got fed up, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Cause the day I received the robot, I said, hey, listen, there's this one package that's for me. It's there. And he's like, oh, you should go and just pick it up, probably there. Because, they usually just send the ones from Mercado Libre first and everything and blah, blah, blah. So I ended up being like, okay, fine. A few days after that was around, the second week this thing was there. I went, picked it up. And pretty much the distance was pretty much like what I walked with Kevin. It was kind of like that distance from my house to the distribution center. So I was not really used to it, but it brought kind of weird memories. Anyways, so I picked it up and there was a note with it, and the package had a hole. It said that the content in the package was damaged and that we apologize and everything, that they didn't, that Daniel didn't put any packing material, which is true. Daniel, you forgot the fucking packing material. Shame on you. But at the same time, they said that all that, they said that the content was damaged and blah, blah, blah. I'm not too sure what exactly was damaged because everything was fine, but The Santa, it was the Santa that was taken apart, and I remember with my mom, you know, ripping the package open and being like, I really hope everything is in here, because it was protected by a plastic they put there when they find there's a hole or something. So I got really nervous. I was like, I really hope everything is in there. So first surprise, I thought Daniel had sent me the large base version, not the small base. That was the first surprise, which again was not good nor bad. And then the second thing was that everything was fine. Everything was absolutely fine. So I assembled this as I could, which I assembled it wrong, so it just jammed up. And then I assembled it right. I'm like, yeah, it's working fine now. The reindeer worked fine. The Santa had a broken arm and everything, like I said in the video. It had a few issues. But other than that, nothing was necessarily missing. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that everything made it here. Now, one thing about the postal things is that lately they've been quicker than what they used to be before. At least with what has to do when they arrive to the country, and once you declare what's inside of it, it starts its trip. They did kind of make that faster, because a few years ago it wasn't really that reliable. It was harder. So now they done that, but again, then you have the part where you either have to wait for almost a month, or you have to go pick it up, which honestly I'd rather go pick it up anytime. But anyways, other than that, it took 1 month to arrive. So, and again, here's the funny thing. Last month, Daniel sent me a package, and it's already in Argentina. My mom already declared it. It's already on its way here. It's not going to be here for Christmas though. It's a rock Santa, like an original rock Santa collectible. It hasn't been modified or anything, because it's good. But yeah, that's going to be there. It's going to be here soon. Anyways, I think that's practically it. So within the Santa, the glasses were actually broken. The face was dirty. The pants were dirty. Everything was dirty. So I ended up doing is my classic disassembly. Here's the whole process for you people to watch. This is how it used to be before. You know, dirty face. The glasses were broken. The pants were... Then again, I just moved them up. But the pants were dirty. They had this like stain, which you can kind of still notice, but it isn't as noticeable. Nowhere near as noticeable as it used to be before. This is slightly yellow. This is not. But that has to do with the dirt. I'm not too sure what happened there. Of course, closer view of the glasses. Yellowed up. The white shirt it has underneath the vest. It had dirt that you could really notice. And of course, here's the whole disassembly process. Now, a lot of you don't know. A lot of you know. You don't have to do it the Jordan style, okay? You don't have to like just push the pants down and start like, no. What you have to do, you have to cut the threads for the buttons. You have to cut the threads for the buttons of the arms and all that shit. And after you're done with that, all you do is just you stitch it back on, and then on the opposite side you basically just make a knot with both ends. That's pretty much it. So basically I did all of that. The staples, the body, and everything. This reminds me a lot from when Jordan had. I think he still has it broken. I don't know. That one Santa, that one NFL Santa, like it reminds me of that. Then of course, what was this? Oh, yeah, with the shirt off. Another really good thing is that they have Velcro in the pants and in the in the shirt. That's a really good thing. Of course, here's the wires. The main negative is this one right there. Yeah, exactly. The main negative is this one. The main positive is, I believe, this one, and this is the bridge. This one and this one are connected together by these wires. I'm not too sure why they couldn't just have moved the wire down from here to here like that, but they had to go through the entire fucking body. I don't understand that. But of course, then you have one wire, which is the negative of the button. The positive is just connected to the main positive, so they did. I mean, they had the balls to do that, but they didn't have the balls to like do the bridge in the feet. Here's the little board, which, if I recall correctly, it's really similar to the one from a tiny motion at Gemmy I have. What else? The body, of course, taking everything apart little by little. Here's where the board is glued at. The spring. What else? A zip tie. The speaker, of course. Another weird thing about this one is that it has the speaker in here. I've never seen a Gemmy item with a speaker here, but I guess, you know. So I guess that's what they say when they say, yeah, the speaker's at the shoulders. That's what they say. So the speaker's at here in the chest area instead of the body. So I'm assuming that the saxophone Santa has it here then, because, you know, the whole upper thing is just the other gearbox. This was once it was all cleaned up. You guys can notice the difference is. And of course, these are a couple pictures that I sent to Daniel with because the pants now are so clean, they're actually shiny, like they used to be at some point. I glued the glasses. You can actually notice the glue over here. Not perfect, but it holds fine, and there we go. Another thing I didn't really show is that the foot was actually starting to snap. Right there where the thing looks like faded, that's where the glue was at, because it started breaking. And it was broken when of course, it was starting to break when I took it out of the box for the first time, but other than that, it's completely reverted right now. It looks beautiful. It has a little bit of like a little amount of issues with the cosmetics. In fact, you can somehow still see a little bit of the black here. It's not too noticeable if you don't have an active eye. So, and of course, this is slightly yellowed. I don't know what exactly they poured on here. The hand, of course, has these two spots that are unremovable. I couldn't take them off. There's this red thing on the pockets. I'm not too sure what exactly that is, but I couldn't remove that. But other than that, motor has been lubricated. The thing works. I'm not too sure if I had to do anything specific to it. I had to extend the wire from the speaker because one wire was too short, but that was it. Other than that, it's just like new. So one thing about the battery covers that really shocked me is that it doesn't have the Gemmy logo, and it has this ribbon, which I actually used as an idea for the, there it is, snowman. So that kind of worked out really good. And yeah, other than that, that's practically it. So without further ado, here we go. So that's practically the entire activation. And of course, I don't know if I said it or not. I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but I'm losing track of what I'm explaining in the video. But this is the infamous Canadian version that I've always wanted since Cole actually got his. I was like, holy shit, so there's more to this, you know, bunch of weird ass hip swinging Santa. So I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. So Daniel sent me this one. As I said, first I thought it was going to be a big bass, because he told me, yeah, I'm going to send you the big bass. I'm like, yeah, fine. He's going to send me the big bass anyways, but he first sent me this one, which again, really cool. I really like it. I don't have any kind of bad thing to say about it, other than it's a hip swinging Santa. Nothing bad with that. And I just realized I was going to show something and I didn't even take a picture of what I was going. Oh, another thing that I'm gonna show. It had these Chinese newspaper bits holding the wires down. Again, classic Gemmy. You know, they're made in China, so they use that. Either that or instruction manuals. But there's another thing that I forgot to even take a picture of, which is that in the back of the body block here, there's a little, how can I explain? There's a little place where the wires go through that I think was originally intended for a relay to keep the you know, to keep the hips straight. There's like a little square around here, let's basically say. And it has two screw holders in the side, like two screw holes, where you're probably supposed to put a flathead or a little piece of plastic, and then there should be a relay or something probably touching the knob. So when it hits a certain position, it stops, and you know it's centered. I believe that's why they would have done something like that. But of course, this one doesn't have that. It was probably an idea that just was left in the, you know, in the fictional plane. But that's practically it. I mean, other than that, I'm gonna play it a couple more times, and that's it. And actually, yes, there are two things that I forgot to say. The first one is, as this is one of those with a continuous mechanism, it has the speed dial, or the potentiometer pretty much better set around here on the hip, pretty much here. And the other thing is that it actually glitches out. This one actually glitches out, and the motor behaves like if it was controlling a mouth instead of a gansing mechanism. Let's see if I can actually perform that glitch over here. Because one thing I know for a fact is that you can perform it, and I've sent videos to Jordan and Daniel about it. And what you basically do is you push the button while it's like turned on, and then you take a battery out, you put it back in, and magic. So let me see if I can do it with a better battery, because it's a little hard to deal with rechargeables all the time. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I don't really think I'm going to be able to perform the glitch here. But anyways. Alright, I actually did it. I actually got it to glitch. Here we go. And this pretty much will continue until you take the batteries out and you discharge the capacitor by pushing the button. So here we go. You see what I'm talking about now? So let's basically say you just take the battery off, you put it on again, it still glitches. So what you have to do is take the battery off, push the button, and there we go. And again, all you do is just this. Several times like this until you get it to glitch. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and Merry Christmas from me and of course the channel. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a Merry Christmas everyone, and if I don't make any other video, then a Happy New Year. So thank you for watching everyone, and Happy Holidays.